to a CBS 2 News investigation. The people who get us around the city are being attacked at an alarming rate.
Whether on the bus or subway, MTA workers are finding themselves in danger while just doing their jobs. CBS 2 investigative reporter Tim McNicholas here now with the story of a driver who says he feared for his life.
And Maurice and Christine, in just a moment, we will hear that story in his own words. But first, I want to explain the problem here. The number of assaults on transit workers has been on the rise for at least the past 4 years. We filed a public records request for previously unreleased videos to show you what they deal with when taking you from point A to point B. Police say the driver of this bus in Inwood got glass in his eye after a man grabbed something from his car and hurled it at the bus window, breaking it in a fit of road rage. This concerned passenger on a Staten Island bus checked on a driver after prosecutors say a man broke a window, punched the driver, and tried to pull him out. A woman removed a young child from a bus in the Bronx in September of last year, then pepper sprayed 17-year MTA employee Efren Martinez. How did you feel in that moment?
My mind was racing because the first thing when things happen like this, I think about, am I going to come home to my family?
Martinez, watching the video we obtained through an open records request, says the passenger became irate after he asked her to clarify a question.
I was telling all the passengers to run to the back of the bus, to the back of the rear door, so they won't get in crossfire with the chemicals. And all this time, I was blind, I couldn't breathe. And I was just thinking, I don't know if this person was going to come behind me to stab me, because I didn't see it when she went out the door. This is my first time looking at this video. I thought she was still on the bus.
From New York City's buses to the trains, Martinez was one of 140 transit workers assaulted on the job last year. That's according to an internal MTA security report obtained by CBS 2. The report says 110 employees were assaulted in the first 8 months of this year, a 39% increase compared to the same period last year. Why is it that the number of employees assaulted continues to increase?
Well, that is a really important question. Here's what the MTA has done. We were the principal advocates and proponents of tightening the law that allows us to do transit bans for people who attack MTA workers.
MTA Chair Jano Lieber says the agency is also working with the NYPD to address the problem and training employees on safety. Do you have an idea of why the number is still increasing, even with all those efforts you just mentioned?
The attacks on transit workers are one element of the crime problem in the system. That is, the numbers are not in the right direction, and we need to make sure that turns in the right direction, like the rest of subway crime.
When we asked that question to the union for drivers and conductors, they said attackers are emboldened.
Because repeat offenders are being released over and over again, we're going to call out the names of the people who's releasing these people to come back out here and create havoc.
In the pepper spray case, police say the woman they arrested in December has no other arrests on file with the NYPD. The case is sealed, so prosecutors can't say where it currently stands in the courts. But Martinez is worried what might happen if he runs into her again someday. Last time you wore this, was that the day it all happened?
Yes.
Martinez says his therapist has advised against returning to work yet due to PTSD he suffers from the incident. He says when he does return, he wants his passengers to know this.
We are normal people with lives, with families. As we respect you when you come on the bus, respect us.
The MTA also announced earlier this fall they're testing out these new glass barriers for bus drivers that extend all the way to the bus ceiling. Martinez says that might have helped him, Christina Maurice, because the current barriers, they only go so high, which he says left him vulnerable to that pepper spray attack.
Just trying to do their jobs,
right?
As he says.
And you know what? When this happens, it affects so many people because suddenly that bus has to stop, the train has to stop, so
yeah,
across the board.
It's really inexplicable behavior. All right. Thank you, Tim. Great work.